Hold up, hold up, hold up. It's that boy Changeofplanz. Don't give a damn. He cooler than a fan. Walking real tall. Some say he's a man.
So what's going on, man? You know what I'm saying? We got Eric Brown in the building, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great, man.
Yeah.
Take off this hill.
Yeah. I told you we got to take it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is a different interview or episode for me, for my platform, and I appreciate you even coming here, investing your time to sit here with me. I'm primarily speak to artists, but this one right here is just so different because your story is so like
I'm gonna paint y'all a
and,
picture. Yeah,
and man, I've seen movies about, you know what I'm saying, innocent people going to jail, but to actually sit here and physically speak with someone, to personally know someone that experienced that, this is my first time. You know what I'm saying? So, welcome to Changeofplanz, man. How you feeling, man?
Well, first of all, man, I'm glad to be here, man. Big shout out to you for having me here. You know, that's an honor and a blessing to meet brothers such as yourself, and the way that, you know, you guys reached out to me. It was just all respect and love, man. So it was just imperative that I be here and utilize this type of platform to let the world know my situation, how I dealt with it, and how we all could go forward with dealing with circumstances in our lives, man, that's hard and compelling and make you want to give up. And so, but if definition, the definition of fortitude to me is just never giving up, man. That's been my mission, that been my motto since the beginning. You know, when they told me life without parole at 16 years old, I never accepted that. You know, I did 9,125 days in prison, bro. And when they gave me life without parole, I never started on that sentence.
Wow.
Not one day. You know, because in my mind, you know, I never accepted that. You know, and I had a brother that escaped, and he was shot and killed by officers. And so that let me know that, you know, I could take that route out, I could try that, you know what I'm saying, and give my life up like that, because it was an old saying in Angola, man, if you black, you don't come back.
But I want to take it here. First of all, what city are you from?
Man, I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. I come up in Kenner, Louisiana, and that's where I went to prison from, and the rest of it was growing up in Angola, Louisiana, and institutions all across Louisiana, man. Yeah. They chained and delivered me to prisons all across the state, you know, as a child.
Yeah, man, and like before so you went in at 16.
Yeah.
Before you went in at 16, like how was New Orleans, Louisiana coming up? Was it rough and rugged? Was it for you?
Oh man, well at the time, no, the president himself and the vice president, back in those days in the early '90s, it was and the Clintons, they coined a phrase for young black men in the living situations that I was in as urban terrorists, you know, and that's when that crime bill came out. So at the time when I caught this particular charge, it was like, you know, lock them up and throw away the key.
And what year was this?
1994. You know, my trials and tribulations with the system started prior to that, as you know, before that. You know, I was 13 when I had my first real case, you know, with the system, where I was convicted of armed robbery, adjudicated of armed robbery, because I was a juvenile, and they gave me 6 years probation. You know, they gave me juvenile life. It was converted to 6 years probation. I had the support of Reverend Avery Alexander. He was a congressman in Louisiana. He passed away. They got monuments and different highways named after him. So big shout out to him and his family, man, because they had tried to throw me away at 13 years old.
13 years old.
You know, that's, you know, and prior to that, just watching my brothers get into the legal situations and watch the police, you know, come into my, you know, family's home and just, you know, rip us apart, you know. So my whole life just been some kind of way entangled with the system.
Man, and I remember I saw a video of Soldier Slim saying if you was off the porch in '94, you was a gangster in New Orleans. I don't know if how true that is, but that's what he said.
I mean, that's facts, man. That's real facts.
Yeah.
You know, you couldn't. It's not like today where anybody could just come out and say they're a street dude and get in the streets. You know, it was like the same way when I went to prison. At that particular time and age, man, you had to represent what you say you are.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no talking about it. You had to demonstrate it, action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you went to prison for armed robbery.
They charged me at 13 years old. That was the first charge that I had. You know, and I like to, you know, share my sentiments on that, you know, the facts on that, because the system will overcharge you. You know, I'm not professing to be this innocent man that never did no wrong, and you know, I got my issue, bro. I was in that life, so you know, when you in the game, you up for game, bro. And the system showed that they had a bigger game and a stronger game than what I thought. You know, us in the streets, we thinking that we know the game, we think we run the streets, but really we just running in the streets, man. The system has a whole diabolical scheme, man. They've been planning this shit before I was even born, before you was even born. You know, I was convicted under a 9-unanimous jury verdict. That means 2 jurors found me not guilty, but yet I'm still convicted of murder and armed robbery till this day. I received life without parole. They told me it was no chance of me ever coming, no down the line getting a chance at parole eligibility. It was a guy named Brian Stevenson from the Equal Justice Initiative out of Alabama who spearheaded the charge to say, well, hey, man, regardless to guilt or innocence, because, you know, I could say I'm innocent all day. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody cares about that. So I say, okay, so I could come out here and say I'm innocent. I could come out here and say I did it. What's the facts? What's the point? What everybody really wants to know. And so they really want to know is, okay, how did the system throw me away at 16 years old? And 2 wrongs don't make a right. The system is designed to be for justice. It's designed to be for equality. But we also need equity. See, a lot of people misconstrue, you know, equality with equity, and it's 2 different things. Mm-hmm. You know, so I'm short. So if we had to look over a fence, right? And if somebody came in and said, well, hey man, I'm gonna be fair, I got these 2 chairs, I'm gonna give you one and you one, you know, and I could stand up in a chair and I might still not be able to look over that fence, but you can. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I need 2 chairs to stand on. Mm-hmm. So equity is, you know, being fair with everybody, meaning they're giving everybody the equal opportunity. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was the issue with me at 16 years old, man. And that's my plight today with trying to let people see that I'm not out there trying to say, oh, man, you know, what happened to me, it happened to me, man. It don't even, the guilt or innocence phase of it is, I did 25 years on it. So regardless if I'm guilty or innocent, I did the time, man. So now it's like, hey, man, look, in Louisiana, it was unconstitutional. It was finally proven that to allow for the state of Louisiana to allow a non-unanimous jury verdict, it was so racist, man. I mean, just point blank. That's what it was.
I want to. This was my thing.
It's so deep, bro. We'll be in 5 hours. You know, look, I'm trying to. That's why I'm trying to. We got time. Let me know, and I'm gonna fall back, and I'm gonna let you ask the questions, and I'm gonna roll from there.